Hey, what's up, phone lovers, and welcome to the Mobile Roar Podcast, presented by Fanboy.com for the week of May 23rd, 2014. I'm Joe Fidua.
I am Chris Chavez.
What's up, guys? I am Kevin Kraus.
Chris, what are you laughing about?
I was just gonna say you might have heard of me from Secret.
I know we were talking before this podcast. Chris is pretty trending on Secret right now.
How do you friend on Secret? I thought no one knew who you were. Is that the joke? Am I missing something here?
I mean, yeah, you can't really be
You
trending
you
on
can
Secret.
you can see it because if it starts trending, then it goes into like the Explore tab, and then it tells you that it's traveled across three different or four different levels to reach you, or something weird like that. So
That's
Yeah.
true.
yeah,
My
so
point is like,
kind
what is the
of does
purpose of
happen.
social media if it can't boost your own ego? Like, if you can't put your name on it and people can't trace it back to you.
Well, we'll talk about Secret a little bit later on in the podcast. So save it for the podcast, guys. Um, all right. So today, just before we get started, we have another game that we're going to be playing later on. So make sure that you stay tuned for that.
Play along at
Um,
home. We've got
yes.
prizes. Not really. Prizes in the
Um,
form of congratulatory messages from us.
and we do have questions enabled right now if you're watching this live, so you can join in with us. And I guess we get things started with our big story of the week. This is by far got the most comments on anything that we did this week. I wrote an editorial called "Has Google's Reputation Turned Sour?" And what kind of made me write this is because I think it was the weekend a rumor was started that Google, aka YouTube, I guess, is in talks to acquire Twitch, the gaming streaming service. And I just saw so much negative comments from people when this was announced. Gamers just up in arms about this, and it was really curious to me because I think a couple of years ago this probably would have been received quite well, but in the last year or two, it seems to me at least that Google's reputation has kind of gone for the worse. I don't know. What do you guys think about it?
I think that area in particular is, I think, where it becomes most divisive is when you're bringing YouTube into play. YouTube, kind of as a community, has grown up almost separately of a lot of the other Google services, and so it's shown a lot of resistance to kind of the great amount of Google integration that's come about lately. I mean, the last time we really heard a big stink about something Google did, it had a lot to do with YouTube and the Google Plus integration.
Yeah.
So I mean, I understand, or I don't know if I understand, but I understand that this is like a thing that people are getting worked up about, just the idea, because YouTube has such a strong community on its own, and then Twitch has a pretty good community that's grown. And I don't know, when you're thinking about mashing these two things together, it could be for better, it could be for worse. I mean, it's hard to say, but I definitely kind of understand why this would be a topic that would kind of make this even a relevant question if Google's reputation is kind of wearing thin on people.
Yeah, it's weird because like we're in the Android circles, we write all the Google stuff, and we're in some respects, some of us on Fandroid are kind of like Google fanboys, so it's kind of weird. We think like, oh, Google's going to buy something awesome, like we're going to have another service to tie into or bring into the fold, but you forget that there's a lot of people out there that don't really take too kindly to Google and everything that they're doing and buying stuff and shutting stuff down. And I don't think they're going to ruin Twitch, but it's going to be interesting to see what they do with it. Hopefully there's no Google Plus integration or any of that nonsense. But
But I think by default,
Google.
if Twitch became integrated with YouTube, if that's like the ultimate goal, then there would be that Google Plus integration because YouTube's already got it. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the layers of it that would come back, and for better or worse, again, I mean, it's hard to say. I think I mean, it gives Twitch tons of resources. It gives
Yeah.
it a much larger platform.
hmm
I think for the actual service, it might be a better thing for growing the service. You know,
And I mean, my editorial was not really completely just about the Twitch situation. That was kind of what started the idea. But I've been noticing this even before the Twitch thing. And I think what honestly has really started it is the Google Plus integration. I mean, you just see all across the internet, definitely not on Google Plus, of course, but if you go to Reddit, Twitter, Facebook, Google Plus is not really that well liked by a lot of people.
Yeah.
No,
I
it's
mean,
true.
it's mainly because a lot of people feel like they're being forced into it, and it's just, and all the information Google Plus has, and the ability to know who your friends are and who your family is, and all this other added information that's on there. People just they don't, they're not taking to it.
Yeah, Google. I mean, Google's ideal world is. I mean, Google's all of their revenue is mostly generated by ads, and Google's ideal internet is one where you're kind of in a closed loop, where no matter where you go on the internet, you're kind of stuck in a Google ecosystem. And to integrate everything together, that's good for Google's bottom line. They want Google Plus to be a big thing because, and they've been pushing Google Plus because, I mean, what is the site that most people probably spend the majority of their time online, most people probably spend on a site like Facebook. And so if Google can get those users to spend that time on Google Plus, and how can they do that? By tying in services like YouTube, by linking your actual Google account directly. Like now you have to have a Google Plus account basically.
Yeah.
It's beneficial to them, and I mean, who knows? Google Plus has its extremely vocal supporters, people that
Yeah.
are going to defend Google Plus, and
To their dying breath.
I'm not a huge Google Plus user myself, but I mean, I I'm not going to knock people that like it, and I'm not going to
Yeah.
say people
I
have to
think,
like it. No.
I mean, I like Google Plus in terms of just functionality and what
Yeah.
you can do on it, but I think Google really has not helped themselves in marketing it, really. They've done some things that have really turned people off from it.
Yeah, the crazy thing about Google Plus is it's been a platform that's introduced a lot of really good ideas to social media, but the result has just been other social media platforms copying those ideas, and then people don't really see it as a reason to use Google Plus. You're not, Circles was a great idea, the idea of selecting who gets to see your content, but other platforms like Facebook started doing it, and then people didn't see it as like an exclusive thing to Google Plus, and you didn't have to be on Google Plus to get a feature like that.
Yeah,
I think with like when Vic was there, I mean he hasn't been gone for very long, but
yeah.
his ideas were pretty good. The whole he always emphasized all these other extra bonus services like the photo editing stuff, which I think is kind of a huge draw for Google Plus. Just being able to edit your photos and mess around with them, tweak them, do whatever you want, but then it still keeps the original photos and everything gets backed up to Google Plus. I think that was kind of a huge draw for Facebook. Facebook, you just upload your photos; they're in some horrible resolution, and you can't edit them or mess around or do anything with them. And that's usually what people want to do on social networks anyway. They want to, share photos with their kids or do their lunch or whatever. And I think that was kind of a big draw for Google Plus.
Yeah, and I think Google Plus has a great events platform that really kind of takes the event beyond just being an invite to being an interactive sort of place where you can come in and like share, actually experience the event with other people that have done it. Put your photos associated with the event. So I mean,
So many
cool things.
great ideas, and they have so many cool little features and ideas in there. But just
But at
people
the
on
end of the
there
day,
right now.
yeah, I was just gonna say, at the end of the day, that's what determines it, because, like you said, Google Plus has awesome photo tools, and Facebook kind of ruins photos. But yet, if all your friends are on Facebook, where are you going to put your photos? You're going to put them on Facebook. So it doesn't really matter. And a lot of time, if no one's using Google Plus, then you're probably not going to be using Google Plus. But it just takes one person to start the movement, I guess. Get your friends over.
But to be fair, I mean, a lot more people are using Google Plus today.
Yep.
A lot of people do use Google Plus, and I mean, I think it has its place and its merits, but it's not for everyone. But beyond Google Plus, beyond Twitch and YouTube, I mean, this whole idea of Google going sour, it certainly doesn't help when news comes out, like I guess earlier this week, or it might have even been just this morning or yesterday, Google talking about, oh yeah, we're going to put ads on everything we can put ads on. That doesn't make people feel really good either.
That's a quote that consumers see, and they probably won't even read the entire article. They'll take it out of context, whatever, and they'll just see that and think, oh shoot, I don't want to use Google stuff.
Like, what people don't realize is that ads, there is a right way to doing ads, and Google knows this. Google doesn't want to put some ridiculous pop-up ad, and just have you like, I hate this, and I want to like click away from it. No, they want to create, a new kind of ad where you will click it, where it's tailored to a specific user. all this other stuff because they get paid through those clicks. Like, there's no point in showing you an ad if they can't get you to click it. So they're coming up with all these cool creative ways and stuff. And honestly, I've never really minded ads. I think it's really cool when I go to YouTube and I see some trailer for some comedy that Google knows that
Yeah.
could guess that you'll probably like this new comedy that's coming out in the theaters, and yeah, I watched the whole thing, like, oh my gosh, I just watched an entire ad. But it's a free service and it didn't really bother me at all.
Well, speaking of Google, I mean, this kind of goes right into our next big story here. I just said Google may be going sour, but apparently not so much, because Google is the world's most valuable brand now. They just passed Apple this week, I guess. Kind of crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, I believe it. I mean,
It's
if there was
not
gonna be a
surprising.
company.
It's not really surprising at all.
It's not surprising to me that Google is doing well. It's more surprising to me that Apple is getting passed.
It's
I don't
doing
know.
so bad. It's almost like my general feeling about Apple is that they've kind of grown complacent, and it's like they've kind of figured out what they do and what they do well, but they're not trying to branch out from that. Whereas Google is just like they're constantly trying new things. They're making new services. They're buying robots. They're putting Google Glass. They're ready for this stuff to fail, but it's this rapidly happening like all the time. It's like I can't believe it. Like, Google is like this crazy future company, like stuff that I didn't think we would see for another 10, 20 years or something. It's like they're doing it and they're making it happen. I mean, I can't even tell you, when I first saw Google Glass, I just thought, like, that's ridiculous. That's just some out there concept, some moonshot or whatever. But we won't see that for another 5 years. And there's like, oh no, we already have like working prototypes. We're gonna get them developed. Like, my mind was just completely blown.
If you want to know what kind of company Google is, just remember back when Larry Page was on stage and talked about Burning Man for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, like like hippies, technology hippies, I guess is what you can call them.
Was that at I.O. last year?
Was it I.O. last year? No, I think it might have been the year before that. I think it was one of the years when I was there. So yeah, that
I'm
was
looking forward to, hopefully he'll talk at I.O. again this year. Have some more crazy stuff for us.
Yeah.
He's just like one of those people that is just an entire different wavelength than normal people. And when he got up there and talked, it was just like, what the heck?
Yeah, I mean, I love listening to him. Eric Schmidt, whenever they talk and they go on their tangents about all this stuff, I'm just like, holy crap, man! These guys are completely brilliant. Like, I love it.
Larry Page makes Eric Schmidt look like Joe Schmo.
Joe Schmo, a tall Schmo. No,
Yeah.
for real. But it's cool. It's cool, and it's really not surprising at all. Google's like redefining corporate America, all this stuff. Their company and doing things that are cool and fun and all this stuff. Where Apple is just seen as this uptight, turtleneck. Rawr.
Yeah,
I wanna see
iPods and iPhones.
who is
Boring.
in the top 5 of this list. Do you guys have any guesses?
I would say, so this is international, the entire world?
I believe so. Yep,
Well, I'm gonna say
global.
Apple's still in there, and
Yeah,
Google,
global.
obviously.
So Google's 1, Apple's 2. How about 3, 4, and 5? You guys
I mean,
got any guesses?
I would say like McDonald's, but I actually think it's probably not in there.
McDonald's
No,
is actually
McDonald's.
number 5.
McDonald's is number 5.
Yep.
Starbucks,
Nope.
McDonald's. Crap. I don't know. Toyota.
Oh, Coca-Cola. Is Coke in there?
Coca-Cola is number 6.
Oh,
Number 3 is IBM.
Okay.
And number
Wait.
4 is Microsoft.
Oh yeah, Microsoft. I almost forgot about those guys.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about those guys. Yep, they're still around.
It's actually surprising though that Microsoft, for as much as they've kind of fallen out of the public sphere lately. I mean,
I tell you what, it's so weird because you say that, and then I also say, I think Google is reputation's going south because of what I see in this like sphere that we work in. But then on the outside, it's like the complete opposite.
yeah, I mean, you just have to think of the things like you think of these are the things that are ubiquitous, the computers that run everything we do in our lives. So obviously, those IBM, Microsoft, all those people will be up top. McDonald's is everywhere, so people are just eating their Big
We gotta
Macs across
stuff
the
our
globe.
faces.
So, yeah, it's not that surprising.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we will play
Oh,
a game right now.
Before
You guys
that game,
down
do you
for
want to
that?
take a quick user question?
Sure, we can take this question. I think we've pretty much talked about this at length.
We have, but we can sum it up real
Yeah,
quickly.
go ahead and read that.
So Elliot Bellardo asks, uh, I saw your videos on Google Glass, but you haven't talked about your thoughts on Glass. So what are your thoughts? And I think we have covered this, especially on Fandroid. We've done reviews and talked about it, but
And great length.
I think the most interesting thing is personally my view on Google Glass. I haven't been able to use it for a long period of time, but I've used it, and even now I still think it's pretty useless. But I always think Chris's thoughts are pretty interesting as someone who seems to have used it extensively, and unless his opinion's changed.
It has a little bit, yeah. um, yeah, initially it was really cool to be wearing them, and I'd put them on and go places, and everyone was really excited about it. But now, I don't know if I've just been reading too much just junk on the internet or whatnot, but I feel very self-conscious when I go out and wear them, and I'm just like, I hear someone laugh, and I immediately turn around and like, what are you laughing at me for? Like just just overly sensitive, and just I feel kind of stupid wearing them, and it's just um, their usefulness is kind of I'm not really so sure how useful they are anymore, because just having a Pebble, and a Pebble delivers all my notifications from my phone, and then Google Glass doesn't deliver all the notifications from your phone, but it's helpful, it's cool. The battery life really doesn't bother me so much, because I'm getting used to charging them when I'm in the car and rolling around and stuff. But I feel a little bit dorky wearing them now, not so much like a cool dork, more just like a complete idiot dork when I wear them. But that probably says more about me than anything else.
But I think there's promise in the platform, and I think
For sure.
once the price comes down, once they actually, build out the ecosystem a little bit more, and my big thing is once they can get it to discreetly fit into like a pair of glasses like what I have on my face right now, that's probably when I would start wearing a technology like that. But I'm not going to go out of my way to wear, something that looks like Google Glass for the little amount of added benefit that it gives you for the price. So.
Yeah. It's the pricing is ridiculous right now, but there's 100% it's not going to be that price once it finally becomes available to the public. And I think that's kind of like where to me where like all the bad like feelings people get about Google Glass is just because of that price. So when they see someone wearing it, it's like, oh, the guy thinks he's better than me. He's got $1,500 Google Glass on his face, or it's just I don't, maybe they even think it's cool. Like, yeah, I'd like to buy one, but I can't because it's freaking $1,500, douchebags. So it's just like it creates this very negative attitude towards it, I feel like, and it's just it's not good. I think once the price is like $200-$300 and everyone can buy one, I think you'll start seeing a lot more nerdy people wearing them around, and people will find out how useful they are, and they'll change their opinions towards it.
Cool. All right. So, are you guys ready to play a game?
Yes.
Okay. So, this
Do we know
game.
what the count was? Who is winning in the overall game count?
Okay. Yeah. Edgar. Did Edgar win the first one?
I think it was pretty much split. I think I won one, but we can start fresh now.
Yeah.
Edgar's gone.
Okay. So this game, I'm calling this "What's the Apps?" And basically all I have here is a list of app names and short little descriptions, and I want you guys to tell me if the app is real or fake. Get my score pad out here. I have 9 of them, and then one tiebreaker if we need that. So I guess we'll just go first one to get 5 right. That sound good?
All right.
Okay.
Let's do it.
So this first app is called Watching Cute Girl. The app puts a cute Japanese girl on the screen, and she just looks at you. That's all she does is she just looks at you. It's useful if you feel lonely or you just like to have someone watching you at all times. Real or fake?
Definitely real.
Yeah,
Definitely real.
no one would make up something that dumb, so that's good.
I'm glad I didn't make it up with that scathing remark. All right, so yes, that was real.
That's ridiculous. But I know enough about Japan to know that they're into some really weird.
I knew you guys would get that one right because that's totally a Japanese thing right there.
Oh yeah.
I download that alongside my butt wallpaper apps.
Okay, so number 2. This one is called Cool Locator, an app that shows you on a map where the cool people are located, useful for finding cool clubs that no one else knows about. Real or fake?
Fake?
Yeah, fake.
Both going fake?
Yeah.
I'll say real because it actually does sound like it's real, but it's a stupid idea. But yeah,
It's
real.
fake.
Ah, dang it!
How are they gonna what is how do they assess what a cool person is and where to
Exactly. You have to pass a 25 question quiz,
Cool.
and then you can get your location tracked. I don't know.
But we could do that. That could be a real app. You could have some kind of clout based score.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, clout. There you go.
Integrate clout.
Okay. Next one is called Blue Browser, a web browser that tints every website you visit a shade of blue that is easy on the eyes.
Real. I'm gonna say real. I know the green is supposed to be the best monitor color, so I don't know why it wouldn't be green browser, but blue browser.
Or amber. There's that one app for Mac or something where it turns everything like an amberish color. And I'm gonna say fake.
Chris says fake. Kevin says real. That one is fake.
Oh,
So I tied it 2 here.
at least it wasn't blue balls browser.
Blue balls.
That would have been really catchy, dang it. All right, next one is a game called Pimple Popper. Keep it simple and
real.
pop a pimple.
Real.
Yeah, it's real.
I think I've downloaded Pimple Popper before.
Oh god, that's nasty.
Reminds me of my high school days. Jeez.
All right, we are tied at 3. Poop break. Find out exactly how much you are getting paid to poop while at work.
Real. I think I might have even actually seen this app at one point. But yeah, I'm gonna say real.
It sounds like something that would be online. I just don't know if they have an app version of it. So, real, sure, real.
Yep, that's definitely real.
I knew it.
Why would they would have to have an app version of it, Kevin? Are you gonna take your laptop into the pooper?
Oh, do you press a timer when you start? You don't just enter in oh, I was in the bathroom for 15 minutes,
Yeah.
I've taken my laptop into the bathroom many a times.
Well, you work at home,
dude,
so.
you're like the clean freak. You know how nasty that is?
I mean, I wash my hands. Jeez.
Poop particles. Particles.
My poop don't fly in the air, man. They're just flying everywhere.
It's on all surfaces.
Okay, so we're tied at 4. So this theoretically could be the game winner unless you both get it.
Ooh, all right, bring it on.
Photography. This photography app is like no other. Take a picture of your friends and turn them into your favorite furry characters.
Photography?
Yes.
Oh God. This is a difficult one.
Sounds real.
Real. Just because I want to take it to a tiebreaker either way, I'm gonna say real.
That is a figment of my imagination.
Oh, jeez.
Joe, you got a real moneymaker on your hands right there.
I'm coming up with some hot ideas here.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, so still tied at 4. Next one, punchometer. Measure how hard you can punch by holding your phone in your hand and punching.
Real.
Fake.
Uh-oh. Who's going to win? It's real.
Yeah. Wait, did I say...
Nice job, Kevin.
Thank you.
Oh, I said fake, huh?
Yes.
Boo.
There is a really cool app on this list that I'm just going to read to you guys anyway because I think it's interesting, and I want to know what you guys think, real or fake. This app's called BuzzFeeder. With this app, you can turn any headline into a BuzzFeed headline. Simply input a title, and BuzzFeeder will automatically sensationalize it.
Wait, what? It's a real thing? It's real?
No, I'm asking you.
Oh, this is just an extra one.
I mean, this sounds like an idea Joe would have.
Yeah, this isn't a Joe idea, so I'm gonna
But
say it's totally
I think
fake.
it's real though, because I think other people would have this idea too.
No,
Nope,
fake.
it's just my idea.
Joe, you should not be like saying these out loud because these are all going to pop up
People
on the
are
App Store and people are going to
literally
make so much money on
What,
it.
you think I can
Taking your
code
ideas,
apps
man.
now? I don't know how to make these.
Well,
Wow, we
if
got a
anybody's
bunch of
out there wants to take
while
one of
we're
Joe's
playing this.
ideas and make an app with us.
Yeah.
let us know.
We got a couple questions here while we were playing that game, though. Let's get to these. Simon Tucker asks, what Android Wear product do you think will sell better? The Moto 360 hasn't been shown off as much as the G Watch, but it seems everyone just jumps on any data they can get about it. Meanwhile, LG has shown off tons of info for the G Watch, and no one cares.
That's the story of LG's like entire Android
Existence.
portfolio. They show off great stuff and no one cares.
Nobody cares. Let me just point out that I've been trying to sell an LG G2 on Craigslist for the past month now for an awesome price, like $250. I've gotten no bites. Nobody wants it. And to me, it's the best Android phone out, but nobody wants it, and that's just kind of like the bane of LG's existence. So, but I like the LG G Watch. I'm going to buy the LG G Watch over the Moto 360. I don't know.
I think the 360 looks nicer than the G Watch, but I don't know. I think they have an equal chance at success. I think the Motorola name might carry a little bit better. That's probably why.
I mean, this is just it reminds me so much of like the early days of Android when no one had their own user interface, and you have these like complete, almost identical products, identical hardware specs, all this stuff running the exact same OS. It's like, why is someone going to pick yours over someone else's? And then, one of these days, I'm sure we're going to see somebody skinning Android Wear to make it theirs and putting their customized UI. So it's kind of funny though that it's just like, well, why should you get the G Watch over the 360? It's like right now it's just, do you want a square watch or do you want a circle watch? It's just I think
a lot of people are intrigued by the circle idea because we haven't seen many smartwatches that try to go for that look. Most smartwatches go for a big chunky square look, and I mean, I know personally I like the sleeker look of the 360. So I have a hunch that one will sell better, maybe for no other reason, just than I feel like LG has such a hard time getting people to buy their stuff, even though it's all pretty good. I mean, they do a good job.
I think
It
Motorola
could come down to price too.
Yeah, that's what I really, really think it's going to be, like more of a pricing thing. So the 360 is almost, I'm almost 100% positive will carry a higher premium than just a flat square back LG thing. And LG does really, really well at like mass producing their products. They have all these cool factories. They know how to like keep the costs low and all this other stuff. And it's just real simple and plastic. Apparently, it's made of like half metal on the back and all this stuff. So. It just doesn't look as expensive as the 360. So I think.
Well, hasn't Motorola already suggested that they're going to have it, like they'll have a premium price point that has like a nicer band and stuff, and they'll have the lower price point that has like just a cloth band or like a faux leather band or something?
I mean,
I think so.
how much more expensive is it going to be just for like a metal band on it?
Well, I mean, if you get like an actual, premium like gold watch band, then that's actually expensive because it's just the actual cost of the gold. But I mean, or leather maybe a little more expensive. If you have one of those chunky rubber bands, I mean, that's pretty cheap to manufacture. So
every picture they show off of it, it just has that chrome metal band on it. So I'm guessing that's going to be like their launch one, and then I don't know, maybe you can just buy it with the rubber band on it, but.
Yeah.
They
would be smart if they released it so that it took normal watch bands, so you could just go to a jeweler and get whatever.
I bet it would.
Yeah, Motorola hasn't said it, but LG did mention that it's going to be able to. You can swap out the wristbands or whatever. So whatever one that they're going to give you is going to be like a rubber one. So I mean, again, it just looks like the LG is going to definitely undercut Motorola on the pricing. But I'm all for it though. I'm all for the LG version.
Sorry. In the same vein, just want to mention something we were going to talk about a little bit. The Moto 360 price kind of leaked a little bit this week. They're doing like it's like a contest or something, isn't it, Chris? And the tax or like the price that the worth of it was listed as $249, like what this product is worth, or
Yeah,
if you win, what's the retail value, etc.
yeah.
So
There was an update though. Motorola
yeah.
mentioned, they had a statement or whatever that does not reflect the suggested retail price or whatever. But I mean, if you look at any other contest, which you can you can look at any of them, they usually have around the right pricing on there. So I don't know. Sounds like
It's
it's gonna
kind
be
of weird.
250.
Like, I almost wonder why would they say that if it's not going to be that price? Because pretty much everyone saw that and thought, "Oh, that's an awesome price."
Yeah.
So why would they come out and say, "Hey, it might not be that price"? I
You
mean,
know what? Don't look too much into that. It might be more expensive. No, it sounds like it's going to be around that price. Or instead of like whatever 250, it's going to be 249.99.
okay, and then we got another question here, which is, how can you watch this podcast live on a Chromecast? And someone kind of answered that for us in the questions here. It said, try the Google Cast extension for Chrome, which is a good suggestion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can watch us live on your big
They
screen.
don't have like a Hangouts broadcast button already.
They
Seems
have
like
a
something
live.
They would have.
There's like YouTube live streaming, which they just added to like the YouTube app or something like that.
Oh
Which
yeah,
lets you do that.
that'd be one way you could do it. Is if you access this via the YouTube stream, you could also cast that to your TV pretty easily,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
They'll-
you can do live streams now.
Yeah, I think this added that, so I think
Oh,
it's.
cool. Yeah.
I think it's possible.
So that's probably a better option if you want it to look a little better.
Be a little self-conscious on a big screen, big face on a big screen.
Okay, so I'll just run through some of our quick hit stories here, and then we'll get to our wins, fails, and our app picks. So the Moto E went head-to-head with the Galaxy S5 in kind of a speed test, and actually did really well, which just shows how much better stock Android is than TouchWiz, which we all knew, right?
Just so hilarious. It's comical to me. It's comical.
Speaking of contests, the OnePlus One went up against the iPhone 5S in a camera shootout and pretty much easily won.
Yeah, I loved the results from the OnePlus, and I was even for about a good 3 days, I was like, I'm gonna buy a OnePlus, and then I realized it's gonna be impossible to buy one for the next couple months.
Hey man, you gotta like win a
Forget about
contest just to get the chance to even be offered.
gotta-
Yeah, really.
And then when you buy one, they might not even send you the phone. You know?
It's like, yes, I won this contest. Maybe I can get the phone now.
And they'll send you an empty box. Dang it! It's just like
Chris,
Russian
that
roulette.
them. They didn't do that.
It's Russian roulette, man. Yeah.
Okay. Surface Pro 3 was announced earlier this week, and that's going to be shipping in June, starting at $800 for the base model.
Pricey.
Pricey.
That's actually pretty cheap, though.
Yeah, it's good for what it is and what they intended to be. Anyway.
The specs ramp up all the way to a $2,000 model, though. So they're like a lot of configurations.
Nice.
Okay, and then Verizon has started the XLTE wars.
Yeah.
Bum bum bum.
Where is this? I gotta find out. I want to try it out.
Actually, it's in a lot of places.
Yeah, a lot of big.
It's in my nearest city where I live, and they usually get stuff really
You
late.
need
So
an XLTE capable device, or does this work with any LTE?
a lot of the recent
It's like-
devices,
Yeah, anything that's fairly like within the last 2 years or 3 years.
like I know the Droid line, they said has it, and so pretty much all the modern stuff.
double the LTE bandwidth, which is really good because
Well, the other thing
Verizon's LTE is kind of lacking compared to all the other guys.
And kind of alongside of this now, like within the past week, a lot of the news has been coming out about the carriers are going to start rolling out voice over LTE pretty soon too. So we can expect that coming. So we'll be on all data pretty soon.
Ooh.
Okay, this one is interesting. Apparently, some people spotted Kobe Bryant meeting with Johnny Ives at the Apple campus.
Ooh.
So
He
maybe
thinks an
like a
iWatch?
personal tour or something. Just like a
I don't know. The story that talked about this said it was a meeting about an upcoming product, but I don't really know how they would know that.
I mean,
Maybe
don't
maybe they're gonna announce something and he's gonna be someone that like comes out
yeah,
on stage or something. I don't
be
yeah,
know.
a
like
spokesperson for
yeah,
like. I mean, you think the iWatch, if that's going to be fitness centric, then having an
True,
athlete
but yeah,
involved would be good.
I
Or
think
maybe
they could get someone better than Kobe though. I
it's
mean,
Beats headphones.
isn't he like the top of his game right now? I don't follow basketball, but
dude,
No,
I'm
isn't he
not
like
even an
the
NBA
guy?
fan, but he's kind of
he's
old.
past his prime.
Yeah.
Really? Dang, never mind.
If you would go out and get the top NBA spokesperson right now, you'd get LeBron or Kevin Durant.
Yeah, Kobe's like
Oh,
been in the league though for like 3,700 years. He's
Yeah.
been around for a while.
yeah.
And then last but not least, third-party Snapchat app SixSnap for Windows Phone got the chat feature that
Dang.
Snapchat rolled
Snap
out.
surprisingly has hung around for a long time without Snapchat getting them to pull it. So good for
Yeah,
them.
That's crazy. Good for them, man. Those developers, man. Windows Phone developers.
they are pretty baller.
They're so crafty.
All right, so wins and fails of the week. Kevin, start us off.
All right, my win of the week is that Apple has finally come out and said they are going to work on a resolution for this iMessage issue that's been going around. I don't know if you guys have heard about this or have experience
Yeah.
with this. If you're an Android user, if you've never used an iPhone, you probably don't know much. But it's actually been around a while, so it's surprising that it's sort of been in the headlines lately. But Apple has finally come out and said they're going to fix it. Basically, what happens is if you use iMessage on your uh, iPhone or iPad or whatever, and it's linked to your phone number, and then you switch to an Android phone, Apple's servers continue to kind of hijack your text messages and treat them like iMessages, so they don't get delivered to your Android phone. So the only way there are ways that I've been around to fix this. You got to delink from iMessage, and in a worst case scenario, you have to actually call up Apple and say, hey, yo, can you disconnect iMessage from my number? And they usually are pretty good about doing it. But now apparently they're working on a way that it won't be an issue moving forward. My fail of the week is that this has been a problem that has existed for years now, and it did become especially apparent recently with like the Galaxy S5 launch. I've had a lot of friends that actually did switch from iPhone to Galaxy S5, and quite a few of them actually returned the Galaxy S5 because they were like, I can't get my text messages to work with this phone. I'm going back to Apple. Screw this. So my fail is that Apple took this long to even address this issue outright. But of course, I mean, you kind of see the reason why they do it, because just by not addressing it, they have people who are switching back to
Yeah.
iPhone because they can't get their text messages
It's
to work
worked
with
out.
Android. So,
Worked
Even
out
worse
there.
than that, I saw something that suggested that they're doing it on purpose.
oh yeah, I mean that's what kind of I would insinuate that also, say that maybe because iMessage is sort of like a an exclusive feature to them, and if they can keep you kind of locked into their ecosystem and kind of screw you in that way, then
Wouldn't surprise anybody.
yeah, it's a little shady, but apparently they're gonna try to put an end to this. So you'll be able to switch back and forth between iMessage and Android at your leisure.
It's kind of weird. You said people are switching back to the iPhone because they're not getting their messages on their Galaxy S5 when really it's Apple's fault to begin with, and they're switching back to Apple.
Yeah, but I do, and actually before this even kind of broke headlines this week and recently, a couple months back, I actually put together a complete guide. So if you've switched over from an iPhone recently and you can't get your text messages working, check out Fandroid. We do have a complete guide for how to correct this issue and get your messages working on your Android phone. So
I'm surprised we never seen one of the OEMs like HTC or Samsung or something try to recreate the whole iMessage deal with their own proprietary apps and stuff.
Really,
Kinda,
Samsung should be doing it.
well,
if
Samsung
anyone
has,
should be doing it, they should. Yeah.
Samsung has their chat on service, but they treat it differently. I mean, that's
Yeah.
a multi-platform chat service that's similar to iMessage, but it's not locked into Samsung devices.
No one can compete with iMessage in my mind because it works seamlessly. You don't even know that you're doing it, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So crazy.
The biggest annoyance, and it's probably just an issue of the protocol. But what bothers me the most is when you get when you have an iMessage group chat and you try to include an Android user, and it always never works seamlessly, and you end up getting a separate chat thread from the Android user, and it's a mess. So
some weird issues like that. But overall, I mean, if everyone was using an iPhone, it works beautifully. But it's like anything.
Okay. So my win of the week is the LG Circle case. What's the official name for that? Is it like Quick Cover or something?
Quick Circle. Quick Circle.
Quick Circle. Okay.
Last year was the Quick Cover, and now it's just Quick Circle.
So this thing has been leaking out a little bit, and we also saw some like screenshots of how it's gonna look. Basically, it's a circle cutout in the flip cover case, and then in the circle, there's like these special widgets that show up. And I think it looks really cool. It's really neat. It's so much cooler than the little cutout covers that Samsung has, and not quite as cool as the dot view case, but it's pretty neat.
What I thought was
near as cool as a dot view
What I thought was most interesting about this Quick Circle is just the strategy, because LG released an official press release announcing this case kind of as a way to tease the G3, so it's kind of like they're like just going for it, you know. It's an interesting strategy to be like
they're literally showing their phone before they announce it. They just have a case over it. It's just so crazy what they're doing. Like
that's genius way to build excitement. Really, is to just flat out show your phone, but it's in a case. I mean, that's pretty genius.
Yeah. If there was no leaks, like people would be losing their mind just right now. You know, in a perfect world, no leaks, no leakage. It'd be pretty cool.
My fail of the week is AT&T buying DirecTV. I don't think this is official yet, but I know they want to. I think that sucks. I hate these big carriers buying other huge companies, and gosh.
So bad. And it's a lot of money. It was like $40 billion or something ridiculous.
45.8 billion or something like that.
They say it has a pretty good chance of going through. And I think I was actually reading that a lot of this hinged on the whole NFL Sunday ticket thing, being they needed to get a new deal for that. So
yeah, I heard that the NFL ticket was a huge part of this.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
But I don't think this has as much of a negative impact as, say, Time Warner and Comcast merging, because they're kind of in the same industry.
Right.
So it's a little bit less tricky in that sense, because you have kind of two independent industries. But DirecTV and AT&T, a lot of their services could cross over, and it creates this giant sort of monolithic media company almost.
Yeah.
Okay, Chris, what do you got?
My win for the week is going to be the Samsung Galaxy S5 Active, which at first everybody, I was kind of that camp that what is the point of this? Like, I can't believe they're doing the Galaxy S5 Active, because last year's Galaxy S4 Active just added water resistance to the regular S4, and now that the Galaxy S5 already has water resistance, like, what is this whole Active S5 going to have? But this one dude on YouTube traveled like across the country to some dude that had the phone ahead of time, some early prototype of the Galaxy S5 Active, and it looks pretty darn awesome. They have metal on the sides. It's like more rugged this time around. So whereas the previous Active was just more about water resistance, I'm guessing it's going to have like dust resistance and all this other stuff added to it. But it's rugged. It's got these cool little rubber sides to it, and it doesn't look like your typical Samsung Galaxy polished plastic crap. It actually looks really awesome. And physical buttons on the bottom, which I think is so awesome. Oh my gosh, it's like a throwback to like the G1 days and stuff when we still had physical buttons. But they actually added some pretty crazy exclusive features. So on the camera for the Galaxy S5 Active, they found out that it's more than likely going to have optical image stabilization. So the guy did a comparison with the regular S5 and the S5 Active, and shaking them around and stuff, and you can see the S5 Active was just a whole lot more stable and stuff. So that's kind of a big deal, because Galaxy S5 owners are probably feeling kind of duped about that. But Tons of leaks, tons of cool stuff. It's got a physical button, an extra physical button that you can configure to open up whatever app you like the camera app. Awesome. I think it looks really cool, and it just kind of sucks that we probably won't see a Google Play edition of that phone. Because if there was, I'd probably jump on it. But that's my win. My fail for the week. It's kind of twofold. I'll just mention briefly, since I get a lot of comments, I guess, on Fandroid and stuff, that I'm an HTC fanboy. But the HTC M8 Prime leaked. EV Leaks had a full 360-degree GIF, the phone flipping around and doing all this cool. It's like the greatest leak ever. But the M8 Prime, a lot of people are freaking out. I just kind of wanted to clear it up because a lot of people are freaking out thinking it's going to be almost like a pseudo sequel to the original one M8 that just came out like a couple months ago. But it's not. This is the HTC One Max 2, the One Max sequel, because the freaking display is 5.5 inches. And my fail about the phone isn't so much the looks. I think it looks kind of cool. It's got this protruding camera in the back with like an orange ring for
Yeah, it looks awesome.
For flare or whatever. My fail is that they don't just have a bottom HTC logo bezel, which they do, but they now have a top bezel for it looks like the ambient light sensor or whatnot that's on the top too. So now you have two black bars on the top and bottom, and then you have the speakers. So it's a 5.5-inch phone display, but you have almost a full inch on the top and bottom just for all this other junk. So the phone is going to be ginormous.
The tallest phone ever made.
Literally huge.
Probably.
And it doesn't need to be. And I get the case with the speakers. It actually adds something to it. So yeah, you can have a little increase in size for extra functionality or whatnot, but these bezels, they gotta go. And I don't like what HTC is doing with these bezels. I like everything else about what they're doing, but just these bezels, it's really bothering me. My other fail is going to be the new Google Plus app. I think it's stupid. Everyone loves it. I hate the new look. I don't like the red bar. It's kind of supposedly following this new direction Google's going to be moving with all their Google apps and services. They're going to have colored bars for, blue for Gmail, red for Google Plus, yellow for Google Keep. And I think it just looks too colorful and weird, and they actually took a step back. It's like the Google Maps update that we got a long time ago where, yeah, they overhauled it and introduced this completely new app, but they removed a lot of cool features that they had previously, and it's weird. It's almost too simple. They don't have the slide-out nav bar. It's really hard to get into your photos, and I don't like what they're doing. I think it's a complete fail from Google. So yeah.
I like it. I think...
a lot of people do. A lot of people do.
I'm not in love with it. I think it was better before, but I don't think it's bad now. The interesting thing to me is right away when I used it, it reminded me of the Tumblr app for Android, and I posted about this on Google Plus.
Pointed it out, but they totally bit off Tumblr. 100%.
Yeah. I was like, what the heck? But whatever.
They had that little. It's like the little compose button that kind of hovers in the corner, and just like the little bar on top and all that. It looks a lot like Tumblr.
Yeah, totally. And when you a cool thing that Tumblr always had is when you go to share a photo and you open up and it pulls up your gallery of photos. You can actually see a live feed of your camera. Yeah. Through a little square if you wanted to take a new photo, and now Google Plus has that too.
Yeah, that was cool. When I saw that, I was, oh my gosh, this is so cool. I had no idea Tumblr was doing the exact same thing. So maybe it's the same guy. Maybe they just acquired the Tumblr designer
to doing the Google guidelines.
Yeah, they're just ahead of the game. That's all.
All right, app picks. Kevin, what do you have for us?
All right, I got a iPhone, iPad app. Aside from playing with smartphones all day and covering this stuff, I'm a big music fan and do some DJing on the side. So my app today is a DJing app. There's plenty of DJ apps for iPhone and iPad, especially for iPad. Kind of the issue with a lot of these is that you have to use the music stored on your drive, and we don't always have a big 64 gigabyte iPad or all the music that we want. So Algorithm DJ2 has a new version out today.
Wait a minute. Is it the name of that app again?
It's by a company called Algorithm, like like the word algorithm, but
I love
I
that.
guess algorithm. The actual app's called DJ2. It's a sequel to DJ. And so this version, this update, which came out this week, adds in Spotify support, which isn't new. This isn't the first DJ app to bring Spotify support, but it's another DJ app with Spotify support, official support anyway. So if you have your Spotify account, you just log into Spotify. Pretty sure you have to be, of course, a paid subscription.
Yeah.
I don't know how they would handle ads otherwise. They'd throw some ads in your mix, but so you can just load up anything on Spotify. It works pretty seamlessly between the Spotify music and music in your drive. They have a match feature, which if you don't know what song to play next, it'll kind of just pull from Spotify's library and pick a song that they think would match as a nice song to mix into. And other than that, it's a nice, easy to use DJ app for iPad and iPhone. Probably easier on iPad because you have more space to work with. But it's got a lot of cool features. So if you're at a party and you want to bust out your mixing skills and you have your iPhone, you can just plug it into the sound system, log in a Spotify account or someone else's, and just get to mixing right there on the spot. And right now, actually, I think it's on sale for $4.99 for iPad at least. Usually $9.99, so you can get it at a discounted price if you go and buy it this week, I believe. So if you fancy yourself an amateur or professional or whatever kind of DJ, or you just want to check it out and you don't mind spending $5, it's definitely worth the investment. So that's Algorithm DJ2.
What is your DJ name, Kevin?
Oh, I'm DJ Kev.
That's what I thought.
DJ Kevin Kev.
DJ Kev.
Weddings, bar mitzvahs.
DJ Cookie Chris.
DJ KK, man. That's what you should be. Kevin Krause. DJ KK.
DJ KK.
Whoa, easy.
Yeah, we're getting...
Only 2 Ks, guys. Come on. I don't know what your middle name is, but I hope it doesn't start with a K.
DJ Special K. Special K.
Yeah.
She's sick.
All right, so my app pick of the week, and I guess it's Chris's too, I see on our notes here. Secret came out for Android yesterday. This app has been out for iOS for like 4 months, I think, and it got really popular. It's basically you just anonymously can write a secret. It's supposed to be a secret. And then anyone that you are friends with, it pulls from like your contacts, and you'll see secrets from people that you actually know. So it's not just completely random people that are using the app. It's actually people you know, which really makes it fun because you're seeing these things and you're like, someone I know just
Someone
said
is giving pennies they put up their butt. Them out to
but
people.
actually, the Android app has an exclusive feature. There's a tab that you can see secrets from outside of your circle, people that you don't know. And so if your friends are kind of lame and they're not doing many secrets, you can go out there and see what people everywhere are talking about.
Yeah, it's cool. It's like the trending stuff. And
Yeah.
I think it's kind of based on location too, because I'm noticing a lot of stuff that's like 1 mile away, 4 miles away. So it's like it may not be your social circle, but it's at least like in your area, and some places far away that are just kind of getting a bunch of likes and stuff. But I freaking love Secret. I'm trying to tell everybody, and there's a lot of people that are kind of like, this is stupid. It's another social app. It's
It's not a
this and
social.
that. Yeah, it's not a social network, and it's just there's applications that have kind of tried to do this before. I think there's one called Yak.
Whisper.
Whisper. There's a bunch of them. It's kind of like Post Secret.
Post secret, yep.
So it's
How long
been
until-
done before. It's an old idea, but
How long until Twitter adds anonymous tweets and like
they could do it, and it would be good. That would be kind of awesome. You just tweet it out. It'll go out to all of your followers, but they don't know who tweeted it.
They don't know. Oh, man, that would actually be cool.
Twitter.
Yeah, I like that. They don't know which
Twitter.
one of their people they're following said it. That's awesome.
Yeah, they just know it's somebody that they're following on Twitter. Oh my gosh, Twitter, gotta get on this.
The funny thing, if you're friends with either me or Chris and you get on Secret, you'll probably see a picture of Chris that someone posted.
Yeah, so I was kind of like championing the app, I guess, and I was talking about it on Twitter last night, and I was telling everyone to get on it, and I posted a link to it again for everyone to download, and people were like, I don't know, and I'm like, just freaking download it, and then somebody, one of my Twitter friends, probably posted a picture of me, I'm guessing, and someone's like, that guy's a total douche canoe. Douche.
It's the funniest thing I ever saw.
That's cool. That's actually, I like the secret function, but that's the one thing about secret that I don't think you guys have mentioned that I think is really cool is the fact that you can kind of customize your posts with a color background or a custom photo or something like that. So you can add some flair.
I've been posting some mind-blowing shiznit that you guys don't even know. Like it's so much fun. It's so much fun.
Oh, I pretty much know. I think I can tell when it's a Chris post.
I'm trying to, because there's certain
You have
ways,
a way of talking.
Yeah, and it sounds exactly the way I talk. That's how I write. I write exactly how I talk in real life. So it's like I'm trying to kind of drift away from that, sort of. And it's funny because I see people that write stuff that looks or sounds a lot like me, and I'll heart it. And my girlfriend just got on it. She heard about it. I didn't even tell her about it, but she just got on it, and she has been. We've been fighting for the past 2 days now because.
Did you put it on your boyfriend's tracker?
You would think the boyfriend tracker would have like pissed her off, but she was like, "That's kind of weird, I guess. Like, I don't like that you're like documenting all this stuff." And I'm like, "I'm just gonna throw it in your face later." But with secret, everything she's reading, she's thinking it's like one of something that I put. It's like some dude's like, I just, made out with some chick at Starbucks, and she's like, "That was you, wasn't it? That was you."
You were just at Starbucks.
You were just at. Don't you lie to me, mother effer. And it's just like it's completely driving her insane. So this was like for someone that's paranoid and just kind of a little bit woo-hoo, it's probably not the best. It can ruin relationships, just FYI. So if you want to do it, don't add your significant
never
other.
let her get a hold of your phone. She'll open up your notifications. See the ones that
and
you
last
didn't
night,
make.
and she hasn't even thought about it yet. But yeah, last night I made sure I hearted a bunch of stuff. I commented a bunch of stuff, so now she doesn't really know which one's mine. So even if she did see those, it would just look like I'm getting notifications from other stuff.
Are comments anonymous too?
Yeah, everything's anonymous except if you comment on your own post. If you comment on your own post, it'll say the author. It won't say your name, but it'll just say author's comment or something like that.
So like what she could do if she wanted to like hold you hostage is
comment
one that she thinks is yours. She'll be like, "Hey Chris, leave a comment on this," and watch you do it. And then if it was yours, it would show that you're the author.
Yeah, it's a good thing she doesn't she doesn't watch this hangout or anything. But I was actually considering deleting the app completely from my phone, and I was like, in case. Just until this whole thing blows over, and then I'll secretly.
Well, Chris, I'll give you a pro tip. If you go and you open Secret, and you go to your notifications, that's where the little settings icon is, and you go and you click Unlink My Posts. It will remove your subscription from everything, and then if you go and write on something you did create, it won't mark you as the author.
Oh, that is so cool.
Tricky.
Yep. All right. I think it's time to wrap up. Just wanted to mention I will be gone next week because I am getting married this weekend, so I'm going to be on my honeymoon. I think these guys are trying to get a guest to fill in maybe, but who knows what will happen with that. I guess you'll just have to wait and find out. That worst case scenario will just be Kevin and Chris.
A complete disaster. I don't.
Well,
you guys are gonna fall apart without me.
Next week we're just gonna host the whole thing via Secret. So
yeah. Make sure you check out
1 hour of reading secrets. Is this you? Is this you? Anyway, you can get in touch with us, send us a tweet, #MobileRoar, or send us an email, podcast@mobileroar.com. You can subscribe to the audio version of the podcast on Stitcher Radio, iTunes, and Windows Phone. You can follow us on Twitter. Chris is at GamerCore, Kevin is at You Don't Know Kev, and I am at TallSchmo.
And you can watch Joe for his secrets about his bachelor party. Or did you already have the bachelor party?
Yeah, I already did. Too late. Didn't have secret yet. All right, well, they will see you next week. Later, guys.
See you guys.